What's up, guys? It's Doodly Squatch here. Got a fun doodle, and yeah, let's just go with it. All right, here we go. So today's a good example of starting with a sketch that I made elsewhere and building up from it. Today's doodle, anytime I draw hands, I'm usually inspired by Isaac, Mr. IH squared. He's a cool guy. Got me thinking about how I was first introduced to his art, I guess. My tattoo artist, Jake, introduced me to his stuff. He had some of his stickers on his toolbox, and I was just immediately drawn to him. I love the look of him, love those hands with the teeth on them, and just all the, very straight lines, but a very creative look at shapes and colors and that sort of thing. And then I found out he was local, so immediately met him at a Comic-Con and bought a bunch. I own a bunch of his shirts. The guy's just cool. He screen prints all his own stuff. Is constantly just reinventing his own art, and then he tries out different materials on shirts. He's even started finding like larger shirts for big boys like me, which is really nice. But yeah, he does all this in-house. It's nuts. He a while ago he got injured while he was doing that, so it kind of cut down on production, but he just kept powering through. The guy's a machine. I love it. So yeah, I love spotting his stuff on people all around town, and makes me smile. It's it's great to see. But so whenever I draw something similar to his ideas, I love to just shout him out, because he's just genuinely a really cool guy. Very nice, very friendly, super creative, and always encouraging me. So you're awesome, Isaac. Yeah. But today, what do we want to talk about today? I guess recent events. Let's see. My youngest brother was visiting, so I got to see my nieces and nephew and hang out with him. It's always fun seeing him. He's the big manly boy of the bunch. He and his wife do run like their own business, repairing farm equipment and stuff like that. Just doing kind of all around repairs. And then they recently moved, and he had me design a t-shirt for a nickname the locals have out there. They're called the Easty Beasties. So I drew that up, and that was kind of fun. But it was nice having him in town, because then that's 3 out of the 4 of us hanging out, and that's when all the best stories come out. And it's kind of funny to see what my siblings remember versus like what I remember of things. And the sad part is they remember a very angry me, a lot of just temper issues and stuff like that. And my youngest brother was talking about how he'd hear me going after my brother just below me, and just thumping on his door and stuff, and his bedroom was right next door, and he's like, oh no. And I don't know, it's embarrassing for sure. It's not fun to think about your the foibles of your youth, and I like to think I have a better handle on my emotions nowadays. But I guess the trade-off for that, me not having as bad of a temper, means I'm a lot more jovial and in my case silly. So I don't view things very much in the same way that others do, or I don't know. I tend to make light of things. It's much easier that way, at least when I'm at work or when I'm dealing with strangers. It's funny. I had I had a gal. Firstly, I had someone I was helping, and they were having trouble with their payment method, and so they were needing to like call their wife and get a number so they can manually enter it and all that. And I've been in that situation. It's not fun. So, when people, struggle at that point, they're real, a lot of people get worried about like, oh gosh, what are the other people in line thinking? That sort of thing. And so I never take it upon myself to, rush them. I can give them, alternatives. It's like, I can, put a pause on this and we can get back to it when you're ready, or la-di-da. But, I wasn't in any kind of rush. And it was amusing because, there was a person, two spots back in line, and they sort of call up to me. They're like, hey, should I get in a different line? Which, to me, that always rubs me wrong. It feels like they're, not so subtly trying to, tell the person like, hey, hurry up, but not without saying it. But, hey, should I get in a different line? And, that always bugs me. But it was funny because when she asked me, my response was, I'm like, if you wish. And she seemed puzzled by that. She goes, well, I'm asking you. And I'm like, I wouldn't. It just made me, because I'm like, I'm not your boss. You can leave the line if you like, if you think it's going to take too long, or if you're in a rush or whatever. But, if you glance around, you'll notice all the other lines are quite long. So, I didn't say all these things. This is kind of what I was implying with, if you wish. and I could tell it struck her. At least, I don't think she was annoyed, but, she was just kind of puzzled. and it just kind of made me laugh because, yeah, it's like I don't look at things in the same way others do. Whereas, someone in line might be like, oh man, I should have gotten in another line too. That sort of thing. Me, I'm just like, I'm here. Sunk cost. I'm in line. I'm staying. But that was an interesting interaction from today that kind of gave me the giggles, made me laugh a little. When you work retail, you gotta maintain that sense of humor, otherwise you get real dreary real quick. And I don't know about you guys, but dreary people kind of make me tired. They just dampen my mood, just. It's like, okay, you're going to use your energy to be grumpy, I guess. And, I'm accomplished when it comes to being grumpy. I'm good at that, but I don't know. It just takes a lot of energy, and not energy I really have to spare lately. So, but also, yeah, with my siblings, one of my brothers, he's moving over to the East Coast soon, and that makes me sad. But it kind of shows, I've been in a kind of, fun circumstance, where I've got, the majority of my family nearby, and I'm kind of used to them living close. I don't know what it was like for like my mom. She had brothers in, several states, and some we never saw, at their homes. We'd see them occasionally. But just having family spread out, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think about like when my kids get older and get married and have families, and where they'll end up, and what I'll have to do to be able to go see them, like vacation wise, that kind of stuff. Just an interesting thought for sure. And then what else are we doing? I'm losing my mind, folks. It's been a long week. It's been hot. It's probably been hot wherever you guys are, but good gracious, I've been warm for sure. It sucks. Speaking of which, soda. Oh yeah. Okay. But we had some fun. We got to go swimming. We got to, hang out with the nieces and nephews, and the kids flooded my parents' bathroom. And apparently that was a funny story to be heard. Imagine 3 under 10s trying to clean up a flooding toilet and slipping and falling all over themselves and all that. It sounds amusing. I'm glad it didn't turn out too bad. I would have felt pretty bad, but yeah, loving this doodle though. I had a lot of fun with this one. I love drawing like sinews and trying to get the shading right on those and fiddling with color and all that. It's funny because people talk about how drawing hands is hard. And I don't know. I had similar struggles, but I just don't see them as hard anymore. And it's funny to look at my old drawings and kind of see the cheats I would do to avoid drawing hands or drawing them entirely. Always having them in fists, or have their hands like halfway open so you only see 2 fingers, or just sort of that thing. And then seeing that in other kids' art, when I see like kids' art, when we go to like an art gallery that has like the elementary school age kids putting stuff in, or just when I visit my kids' school and see some of the fun doodles they have there, seeing similar things that I used to do, makes me smile. It's neat to see how people's brains work and that sort of thing. Good gracious. This is a fun drawing. Sorry, I don't mean to just watch myself. Oh, look at me. Yeah. This was a really fun one to do. I really enjoyed figuring out what I wanted to do with it color-wise, and it was kind of fun putting it my own little flair on an established idea. But after I finished it and had a look at the just the way the hand was positioned, I had to laugh because it reminded me of me and my daughter when we would go Sly Queen. And so that kind of inspired the background colors and then some additions. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. It's just fun getting on here just to jabber and reminisce. But hey, slay the day away, guys. Hope you had a good week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.